Welcome to the 360 show, season 6, episode 2. There's plenty of cricket happening around the world, and to be honest, it's actually pretty difficult to stay up to date with everything happening. Afghanistan stunning the Proteas over there in the UAE. It's big news. We'll cover that. Sri Lanka going one up over New Zealand at goal. India being their dominant self. Very interesting things happening with Shakib biting on a strap to keep his balance. Lots of cricket to cover. Also, England playing against Australia. We'll do all of that on this week's 360 show. Let's hit it. Alrighty, let's start with the 360 view, where I cover the 6 main cricket topics in 360 seconds. Afghanistan stunned the Proteas 2-1 in that first bilateral series between the two nations ever. Incredible performance by the Afghanistan team, and big trouble for South Africa in the batting department, where they only got 106 in the first ODI, and when they chased in that second ODI, only getting 134. Yes, South Africa got the consolation win in the third ODI, so there's a little bit of hope, something to hold on to. Aiden Markram scoring some runs, but there's lots of players in that top order who needs to go back to the drawing board and needs to find much needed confidence moving forward. Lots of credit to Afghanistan, playing an incredible brand of cricket, especially Gurbaz getting his 7th ODI 100, surpassing Shahzad's 6. So all in all, congratulations to Afghanistan with their first ever ODI series win against South Africa. It shows you how far they've come. Second up, it's Sri Lanka. They leap over New Zealand in goal, going up 1-0 in that test series against New Zealand, and really standing in a good place at the moment in that World Test Championship log. Sri Lanka won the first test, as I said, after they win versus England at the Oval. So it shows you how important that win in England was in the final test match. They taking that confidence to Sri Lanka and coming out on top. Playing at goal, I've been there before. It's an incredible venue, absolutely beautiful on the coast, and it can be tricky. It's a tricky batting wicket. Funny enough, when I played there last time, and we'll talk about that later on, there was a big surprise who the man of the match was in that game that I played there. I scored a 50 in one of the innings. I had a relatively good test match, but at the end of the day, there was a bit of a surprise, where usually when you go to Sri Lanka and some of the subcontinent nations or countries, generally the spinners stand out. This occasion, it was something completely different, and we'll cover that in the quiz later on, so keep your eyes and ears open. Shakib biting on a strap, the next topic. Shakib playing against India in that test match was seen biting on a strap while batting. Now, I can sort of relate to that in a way. He explained that it's because of an eye issue, which I also had towards the back end of my career. I never really struggled with the balance thing, except for the fact that throughout my entire career, even before my eye issue, I always try to get my chin as close as possible to my left shoulder, just to make sure these things work in tandem and that I don't lose my balance. So when the head is disjointed from the rest of the body, it's very easy for you to fall over. In Shakib's with his example, fall over to that side because he's a left-hander. But that's probably the reason why he's doing it, just to keep that balance. And he explains that it's got something to do with that eye issues that he's got. Moving on, Australia dominant in England, 2-0 in the ODIs. And as I'm recording this show, they're playing the third ODI, so we're not entirely sure what's going to happen there. But the brand that Australia is playing at the moment just seems really unstoppable. World-class players right throughout the 11, and England just seemed like they had nowhere to hide. But the one point that I want to raise is the Australian bowlers seem to be a lot more attacking than the English bowlers, where they seem to find breakthroughs right throughout the 50 overs, and it's really difficult for a batting team to gain momentum when you keep losing wickets. So they have really attacking wicket takers right throughout that bowling lineup, with a spinner Zampa as well, always taking wickets. But the seamers come back in those middle overs and they have a slip in there and they try and take wickets, where I didn't really see that with the English bowling department. Maybe it's because they've lost some really big names in the last 3 to 5 years. So now England have lost 10 out of their last 14 ODIs, and lots of work ahead for them. Cricket South Africa will be touring to Bangladesh as Farhan Biardeen part of the South African Cricketers Association, flew over to Bangladesh. It was part of a delegation that they had to go through to make sure that the security protocols are in place for the tour in Bangladesh for South Africa. It seems like everyone is happy. It will be a fantastic experience for the South African team to go over there to play the 2 Test match series, and it's a must win. As I explained in that last show, for South Africa, really important to go there to get a series win and then to come back with 2 series at home, which will put them in a really good place to possibly qualify for the top 2 spots in the World Test Championship. And last but not least, certainly not the least, the IPL auction is coming up. It's a main auction, and it most probably will not be taking place in India. As you guys will remember last time, it took place in Dubai. So places like Doha, Abu Dhabi are also options, with Saudi Arabia also interested. So let's see where that takes us, guys. It'll be great to see some cricket in Saudi Arabia eventually down the line. For them to maybe host the auction is one step in the right direction. As we know, they have invested heavily in sport for many, many years now. And they're certainly making a statement and trying to tell the world they want to be part of big events, whether it's cricket, Formula One, soccer, you name it. They are pretty much everywhere. So one issue, the IPL franchises are yet to receive the retention rules ahead of the mega auction, which is a bit of a problem. I know some of the franchises, well, all of them, would have wanted to do their homework by now, but the BCCI has informed them of a potential delay in the announcement of these rules, leaving some franchise officials concerned, maybe even frustrated about whether they will have enough time to adequately prepare for the November auction. The deadline for teams to announce their retention is expected to be around the 15th of November, with that auction taking place in December sometime. So leaving it really late here, and it must be frustrating to some of the franchises, but hopefully RCB will be in a good place going into this auction, get some good buys, and have an even better season coming up in 2025. Alrighty then, guys, moving on to the big test match series happening in India. No surprise there with India coming out on top, but it must be added that Bangladesh definitely had a huge opportunity in that first innings, getting India 6 down for not a lot of runs, I think around 130, 140, and then not taking that opportunity. But in came Ravi Jadeja and Ravi Ashwin, the twin pair who decided, hold on, we are not just spin twins, whatever you want to call them. We can be 2 top order batters for the Indian team, especially when they need us most. And they just seem to do this time and time again. Bail India out, and not only bail them out, but get them to a huge score of 376 in Chennai in that first innings, putting Bangladesh on the back foot, and all of a sudden really giving freedom to guys like Bumrah to go out there and express himself. Obviously, Ashwin, Jadeja controlling that bowling innings as well, doing what they always do. But it's the first time that India has overtaken their loss record in Test matches. 179 Test match wins now against 178 defeats. Going with some other teams like England, Pakistan, and South Africa and Australia, to be the only Test playing nations who have had more wins than losses in Test match cricket. So congrats to India for achieving that. And then Rishabh Pant. I mean, I've got to speak about number 17. Great to see him back in the white clothing, playing red ball cricket. I still thoroughly or very vividly remember his Test innings that he played in Australia, that big 100, digging India out of trouble, or pulling them out of the trouble after they dug themselves into the trouble. But Rishabh Pant playing incredible cricket once again. It's amazing how much talent this guy's got. He must have had some doubts with the big delay, being away from the game for so long, coming in to the test match arena and straight away looking at home. 6 Test 100 for Rishabh, and that's the joint most by a wicketkeeper for India in the format, level with the big name MS Dhoni. And Rishabh was quoted saying, coming back to the Test cricket, where I belong is really great. I enjoyed batting out there, and I just got a little bit emotional, which is understandable, guys. But at the end of the day, just being on the field gives me more pleasure than doing anything else. And he's where he belongs. He's where he wants to be. And you could see that in the way that he played, that usual attacking style of cricket with that smile on his face, always tongue in the cheek kind of jokes, just having fun out there. And I think that's why the public around the world love watching him play. Uh, Ravi Ashwin, let's quickly talk about him. It's the fourth time, guys, scoring 100 and taking a 5 wicket haul in the same test match for Ravi Ashwin. That is absolutely out of this world. Only Ian Botham, who's done that five times, has done it more. And Mushtaq Ahmed, someone like a Sobers, Jacques Callis, Shakib, Ravi Jadeja, other men with doing this, but only twice. So it just shows you in what kind of level Ravi Ashwin is with his cricket. Everything is achieved. Simply outstanding. And you just got to, I mean, the impact that he's got on a test match and a test series is out of this world. And I really clearly remember playing against him, always in the game with a bat and the ball in hand, always fighting, very smart out there. And I have the world of respect for him. It's also the 37th 5-wicket haul for Ash. It's the joint second most by any bowler in this format, tied alongside Shane Warne. And quite a long way still back from Murali's 67, but he's certainly well on his way to get there. Who knows how long he's still going to play for? Hopefully another 5 years at least. And maybe he stands a good chance to get to that 67 mark. And he was quoted saying, "It was an opportunity to fight, to dig deep. I've seen so many teammates do it in the past, and it was a special innings for me." He says, "It didn't sink in till day two. I make a living by bowling, so bowling comes first." But he thoroughly enjoyed that knock. There's no doubt about it. You could see the joy on his face, getting that 100 and getting his team out of the trouble with his twin spin twin, Ravi Jadeja. So congrats to Team India. There's more cricket to come. These two test playing nations will be fighting it out. Bangladesh need to come back. They need to keep fighting. They have showed in that first test match that they can get India in trouble. It's just a matter of running through the door then and making sure that you're resilient and not giving your opportunity to the opposition by allowing them to get out of that hole, which unfortunately Bangladesh did. We always spoke about stepping on the throat, as brutal as it may sound, but if you have the opposition in trouble, you got to step on them. You got to keep them in that hole for as long as possible. Otherwise, greats like Ashwin, Jadeja, Bumrah will come to the fore and take the game away from you, which ended up happening. Keep your eyes and ears open to watch some of your favorite players. I absolutely love following the cricket around the world. Moving on to ABReacts then. I love this. Adam Gilchrist, one of my favorite cricketers of all time, came up with his IPL 11, his all-time IPL 11. Well, I made the team. That's not the reason I bring it up. I just have a lot of respect for him, and I think it's a good team that he pulled out here. Chris Gale opening with Rohit Sharma. No surprises there. Virat Kohli at 3, Suresh Raina at 4, myself at 5 with MS at 6 as the wicketkeeper. And then come the all-rounders, Ravi Jadeja, Dwayne Bravo at 7 and 8. Yuzi Chahal, which I really like seeing there at number 9. Lasith Malinga and Jasper Bumrah, the two fast bowlers, with Rashid Khan as 12th man. I think Yuzi Chahal will be very happy being picked ahead of Rashid. I know the two of them have a lot of respect for each other, but always in competition with each other. Who's the best spinner out there in the IPL? And they'll have another great opportunity in 2025 to showcase to the world who the best is. Very interesting. Devil Brevis, my good friend, came out and announced that he would like to be the best cricketer that has ever lived. He wants to play for the Proteas in all the formats, and being quoted saying that I want to be the best. So someone that I've heard of before, I've done this before. I did it before in 2009, actually, guys. I, without me knowing, sort of put that goal out there for the public to see. It was not planned. It just came out naturally. I was asked in an interview, "Why do you play this game?" And I said, "Well, I'm playing it because I want to be the best." And the next day, it was everywhere in the headlines, on the radio stations, in newspapers, which put quite a bit of pressure on me. But without me knowing, in the subconscious, sort of planted that seed of, you know what, that's really why I play this game, and I shouldn't be playing it if I didn't want to be the best. And it sort of just started driving me more and more. I worked hard at my game, and every opportunity I got, every good start I had, I really cashed in. And I made sure I made full use of that opportunity because of that statement that I made. And it's incredible how the mind works. Sometimes when you put yourself in a hole, under pressure, whatever you want to call it, some magic appears, magic happens. And it was certainly the case for me. Hopefully it is the case for Devil Brevis. I am in touch with him, and we have spoken about this kind of thing before, really sort of fine-tuning your mind and putting your goals out there, not being shy to tell people about it. This is what I want to be. And you need to be proud of that. But obviously, with that comes pressure and much. Let's talk about a little bit about football, the Premier League. Erling Haaland playing for Man City, and it hurts me to give him credit because I'm a Man United supporter, but it's just difficult not to enjoy the way that this guy scores goals, and also the brand of football that Man City plays is really good on the eye. Arsenal and City clashing that last weekend, 2-2 draw. There's no surprise there. Arsenal being the best defending team of this tournament or from off the Premier League, with City the best attacking team. But Haaland coming out and really just, I mean, he's in the form of his life, reaching that 100th goal mark for Man City. Incredible. And comparing him to guys like Ronaldo and Messi, he's miles ahead, guys. And I don't think he gets enough credit for the incredible player that he is. So physical, really difficult to dominate him when he's got the ball. And he's just got a knack of finding the back of that net. Incredible feel for the game. From the day I saw him play, I wish that he was with Man United. Unfortunately, he's not. And he's just breaking records left, right, and center. I love following the football. I also play Fantasy League with my sons and some friends. So I find it really entertaining, and it's just great to follow. And it's such a long season, so you're never out of the game. There's always something happening. But Haaland has simply been incredible, and hopefully Man United will find a bit of momentum going into the rest of the season. All right, let's take some questions from you guys, some comments, and thank you very much for taking part in that and putting down your comments below in the descriptions box. I read through some of them, guys, and I really appreciate it. But let's cover a few. New intro video. Cool Deep, thank you very much for picking up on that. Game, set, and match to Abraham Benjamin de Villiers. That was the game at the Wanderers where I broke the world record. Fond memories of that, and I'm very happy to say that my team in India made the intro, or made this part of the intro video, the new intro video for season 6. I thoroughly enjoyed it as well. Thank you, Kuldeep, for that. From Bangladesh, Kao Mao Vao. I hope I pronounced that all right. I was in the stadium when you scored 100 in the BPL. Oh, very, very fond memories of that for the Rangpur Riders, playing with Chris Gale, Alex Hales that night, in particular with Alex Hales. The two of us batted well. And I just saw the ball really well that night. And I remember I was in really good form, having a lot of fun over there at the BPL. Unfortunately, I only played there once. I wish I took part in the BPL a few more times throughout my season, throughout my career. Then Devarsh, hey AB, just a curious question. Why are you not the head coach or batting coach of South Africa team? Of course, we all know how well it can change the SA's place in international cricket. Thank you very much for that. I have covered this before, guys. I have interest in cricket still, and I would like to make a difference in some players' careers. I'm not ready to join a team yet, though. And to be very, very truthful, I haven't been asked by the South African team, but it is something I'm hesitant about still at this time and place where I am at with my life at the moment. It's a big commitment. Maybe on a consultancy basis, shorter period of time, like a week at a time, I'll be very happy to work with some of the batters. I have joined forces with Titans Cricket, which is just around the corner where I grew up at Supersport Park. I've done some sessions there, 3 now in the last month. I'm doing one tomorrow about power hitting with the academy players. So it's great to still be a part of it. I don't have to be in the limelight, in the newspapers. I'd prefer to do it under the radar, behind the scenes, and really help players where I can. Still working with guys like Devil Brevis and quite a few other youngsters locally that I can touch base with on a regular basis. So that's the long and the short. Maybe down the line things will change and I can commit more to a team. I would love to make a difference with the Proteas, and hopefully we get in touch really soon. VJ17, please play the Legends League. I have been asked a few times. I don't know where my cricket bat is. I don't even know where my kit is. That's where I'm at in my life at the moment, guys. But never say never. One day maybe I'll come out and hit a few cricket balls again. So thanks for that. We'll see where that takes us. Moving on to the 360 quiz, then last week's question. I asked you guys to predict the 4 teams out of my predictions with the picks. You remember I did the predictions picks, and I had the top 4 teams. The answer was India, South Africa, Australia, and England. And the winner with that is Rohit Sutravi. Congratulations from Karnataka. You did it absolutely spot on. India #1 spot, South Africa 2, Australia 3, England 4. A few other guys got it right, but not in that exact 1-4 ratio. And also, this is very neatly done, Robert. So congratulations, you are the winner. Moving on to this week's 360 quiz. I told you guys about the test match that I played at Gaul and the surprising man of the match for that test match that we played. Who was the man of the match in the one and only test match that I played in Sri Lanka in Gaul? I scored a 50 in one of the innings, and we try and set it up in that second innings, if I'm not mistaken, batting really aggressively. I took some catches in the slips. That's the only hint I'm going to give you guys. Who was the man of the match? All the very best with that. Subscribe to this channel, like it. Also follow me on social media platforms, and I will be seeing you on this week's 360 Live Saturday. I will not miss it again. So stay tuned. I will update you guys on all the platforms out there. Have a fantastic week. Thanks for following me. Thanks for tuning in. Take care now.